Hello and welcome back to the Fox Strength and Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox, and we are back at Powerbuild Warrington after a little bit of a hiatus since the last commentary video I did was at KOP. And it seems like we'll get a little bit of an alternation. Been doing a lot of sessions at KOP as well, and I like filming there. It's definitely crowded, but it's a nice atmosphere as well. So we're going a little back and forth, and maybe that's a little bit of a preview of kind of what things are going to be like, because we got a little bit of a event coming up. Been pretty quiet about it, just been kind of talking to people, but we're trying to do something strongman wise at Warrington, and I think we're going to try to like kind of alternate that between Warrington and KOP. So for those of you in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York area that want to travel, we'll be there on Saturday from 12 to 2, December 13th, and then we'll have it at one location, which should have some more promotion after this first one on December 20th. But got into a little bit of a chest, shoulders. I would say this is mostly chest. Kind of really focusing on the chest, but I've noted many times that my chest is a weak point physique-wise, and then I would also say strength-wise, if it wasn't always the best bench presser, so we're definitely focusing on that. But I like to warm the shoulders up, so I did the rotators. That's always something that's kind of like, never necessarily feel like I need to do it, but also it's important. You want to make sure you have that good range of motion, you have strength in your rotator cuff, you have good quality of movement. So do those, and then the alternating side and front raise. So raise into the front, trying to raise out to the side, come down into control, and then raise out to the side and come back to the front. And you could do these differently. Sometimes I just do them as a front raise to the side and then reset to the front. Sometimes I'll alternate it. Sometimes you could do it the alternate way, like do it as a side raise and then come back to the front and only do that motion. It's really your preference and how you want to train it, but great way to get the shoulders warmed up, or maybe even a finisher, something a little more creative that you want to deploy to kind of just crush your shoulders at the end. Definitely a great movement. I like it. It is very tough though to kind of stay strict with it. You can see I like kind of start to lean because I just feel a little crushed at this point. I will say too, like, we're around the holidays, so there's Christmas parties. The company I work for had a Christmas party. Of course, per usual, I'm kind of working during the day, even though it's a Saturday. Didn't really eat too much. You know, I got my protein in, and I was like hitting like meals that I needed just to stay sane and also get my nutrients in, so that I'm not like just emaciated, but not too many like wholesome meals through the day. Shakes, some eggs, like a little bit of carbs. So I was like, I could really, I could definitely fit some calories in. I don't really need to worry too much about throwing some food on the plate and eating. Had a little pasta, had some chicken parm. So I'm like, what better thing to do than go to the gym, all pumped up on pasta. You're ready, all carb loaded up and ready to go. And I definitely felt like I had like the pump going after that. Like, ate a bunch of food, had a little bit of coffee. It's been a long day. I was so drained I didn't even feel like changing out of my pants, and I hate training in pants. Like, I get so freaking hot. And like that brings me to another thought is pump covers. Never been a fan of it. So you see I had the hoodie on at the beginning, but I couldn't even keep it on. I was like, I need to take this off and not be like hot like this. It's so interesting because I trained at Diamond Gym for 2 years. They are very passionate about like, you need to cover up, shouldn't be showing like that unfinished product and whatever. And also it's just kind of like the manly thing to do, I guess, is from their point of view. And then there was me in the back room, like, just in like blue Ray-Ban pants and freaking knee sleeves and like a cutoff, squatting. I don't think they liked that too much. In fact, I know that they didn't like that too much, but then I was, very strong, so it didn't really matter. So I just, let that do the talking, and I never had any issues there, but it's just funny because sorry, when you think about it, relatively speaking, I'm kind of like a CrossFit athlete to them. Like, if I'm looking at a CrossFit athlete, like, dude, they're stripping down completely. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, the guys, like, you're not wearing any clothes, but for them, like, looking at me, it's like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, you got tights on, you barely have a shirt, you have a shirt that has like all this sticky stuff on it, like, come on. And it's just funny, like, the different culture of the strength sports that we compete in, and like kind of how we train and those social norms. But yeah, I don't like wearing stuff, and especially not been used to carbing up and having a lot of calories, to then have all these calories in, and then like staying covered up and staying like insulated. I really don't like it. And I had a great session here. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I had a lot of good key takeaways here, but also I was like, I want it to be over because I just don't want to be in pants training it again. But we did the Larson press. Haven't really talked much about the session, but we did the Larson press after the Gym 80 chest press. So the Gym 80, I feel like, is kind of like a dumbbell crush press. Very, very cool machine. I like it a lot. I'm really happy that they got it. And I feel like it's a very good like chest pump. It is really solid. So it was nice to do that and then jump onto these and just really like kind of feel that instability. I like to put my feet up, like not just out and straight, but like up. I like want to eliminate the arch, and I also want to eliminate like the stability on the bench with this movement, so that it's like you're just trying to really stabilize, but also you need to demonstrate that pressing strength. So we got through all that, and then it was standing chest press, pre-exhausted with banded push-ups. This is brutal. So hit 8 push-ups, and then we're gonna jump up and get on the Gym Lyco standing chest press and go for 8 to 10 on this. And you feel okay at first, and then you're just like, I like made a mistake. You just get fatigued very quickly from all those push-ups, and like the shoulders and the triceps are done, and then it's like it's all chest, and you just got barely anything left to really push with. But it like blows your chest up. I mean, I'm saying that from like perspective of I don't really have great chest, but like I've noticed a lot of changes in mine lately. I can feel like that sternal head of the pec like thickening out around my sternum a decent bit more, or I have like that like protruding, like bouldering chest that you want to get, where it's like looks like armor plating, like that superhero type look. It's really cool. So it's very difficult, this superset. So I dropped the weight a little bit. I pulled the 25s off, and I was like, well, let's just try to finish this off. And it was funny that I even thought I could do 3 plates on each side in the back, and then I was like, no, let's go 2 and then a quarter each side, and even that was too much. So then I had to dial it back to 2 plates to finish off this last set. But that was some great work. And then we did some more push-ups, just to really burn out. And I like to like kind of stick in the bottom here and like grind through that sticking point. I think is a really big positive and a great way to like just burn out the chest a little bit more than you would think. I just want to show you like a chest fly that I did in the past session. That it wasn't this one, obviously, because I'm dressed completely differently, but just kind of trying to test the camera out once I got it. It was like, let's take this angle. So this is something I've really enjoyed up on the bench and getting a good stretch in the pecs and then squeezing hard at the top. I would say I really want to emphasize mostly like squeezing those handles together, but also like the stretch in the back end I think is very important as well, and has led to like a lot of differences in my appearance, like the muscle and like how it kind of appears through like the fatty layer and how lean it looks. And even there, like I did reach failure and that was very good, and I felt pretty pumped up from that, and like this was a good session the day I did that. But then if we hop back to our current session, and this isn't a machine I would often use a lot, I kind of avoid it because I've never felt like I get a ton out of it. But if I feel like if I stretch the chest, like pushing the chest up towards the ceiling as I'm bringing the arms down, I can really get that good stretch. And then I'm doing segmental movement, so I'm doing different portions of the range of motion. So I started with the squeezing just like I did in the last variation, but then I'm going to go more towards the bottom end of the movement and really hit that part of it with the stretch. And then after those three, I'm going to do full ROM for that last couple of four. And this, you know, we hit really like solid failure and pretty quickly, to where I may not even need a second set of this. I did do a second set, but this is something to consider, like if you're cutting or even like just training for a strength sport like powerlifting or strongman. Like you want to get to failure a little bit quicker than maybe like a bodybuilder doing like all these sets at once. And these are just ways that you can do that. Like you can push things a little bit differently so that you're creating that stimulus that's going to reach failure a little bit quicker, and then you don't have to do as many sets because you've already been doing all your working sets on, like, let's just say your powerlifter, squat, bench, deadlift. You on your squat day, you did all your working sets on squat. Like, how many accessories are you really going to do? Same thing with bench. It's like you don't have time for like 12 extra sets of chest, and that's where you need to kind of be a little more creative. And sometimes it's just doing a dumbbell press. I mean, I would say most of the time it's just doing a dumbbell press to failure, or leaving a couple reps in the tank, 1 rep in the tank. But maybe you want to do something that's a little more fun to be able to kind of pump up and feel good, and that's just the way you can go about it. Like, do some different types of range of motions, do some pauses on the concentric, do some pauses on the eccentric. Freaking vary the tempo, vary like how many reps you do at a certain like range of motion and stuff like that. I love strip sets. I love, you know, rest pause stuff, and just being a little different about it, because otherwise sometimes it can get boring, especially spent like years to decades in the gym. It can be a tough thing to tackle. And I mean, I think we see now like a lot of people just not making progress. So I start my clients off on basics, but then I do progress them to like, okay, we're hitting this heavy, and it's like, you know, 3rd week with a guy, and it's like, we're doing a strip set, like we're gonna burn it out now. And Like, I think he took it very much as a positive. And then I just posed down here again. I really want to commit to doing this really for more of the progress. Like, I feel like I can see it, so then that gets me more motivated. I feel like Sam Sulek talked about this a little bit, where it's like just looking at like pictures of himself shredded, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing my cardio. Like, this is honestly the process that works, and I feel good about it, so I'm gonna keep up with it. So feeling pretty good about all this in this session, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights and hold strong.